Hey there, it's Greg Colossale, and this is another little video for some business advice. This one we're going to be talking about taxes, and I'm going to tell you a few stories about taxes and how to handle them and what they mean. Right away, folks, when you're dealing with business and taxes, you're going to become someone who can be villainized by the employee or the small business owner, even though it sounds kind of unsensible. I use the word business. I actually want to take that back. When you're an employee, which most of us have been or have to be or are or start off as, you are told you're going to get $50,000 for doing this job. And you know, as an American, you will not receive $50,000. You will receive, I'm not good with this quickly, but say 40 or $38,000. Everything else is going to go to the government as taxes. Okay. Now, I'm not here to tell you they're going to fix the roads and they're going to turn that's a world that is almost fake. Okay. But let me explain to you what you can do and how and what your goal is as a business owner when you navigate taxes. Taxes are inevitable, and it's not good or bad. It just is. It's like growing older. You're going to grow older. You can't be like, oh, I will not grow older. I'm 20. I will always be 20. Then you're 50. Same thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just you want to learn how to navigate taxes. I am not a pro, but I was taught by many people on how to do it. And one thing that you have to accept is a really cool thing, but it's really odd because of how hard you're working for your money. Business people work very hard for their money. It's an open door of liability and stress, and it's always going. In fact, I don't even want to sometimes open a business because it never shuts off. You do not sleep. Your business is really in your mind all the time. My mom used to say, Greg, a business is like a child. If you neglect it, that child and that business will die. So there is a lot of truth to that. Taxes are just kind of like a part of, like, let's say my buddy lives on a big piece of land among the redwoods. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's oh my God, everybody loves it. But when the rain falls, that beautiful piece of land is filled with mud, unusable for a few days, and so you can't have it both ways. You can't have a beautiful piece of land which surrounded by these beautiful trees, because those trees need water and nature's going to give it water, and your land and your area is going to be a little bit mucky. So it comes with the territory. You live in New England, you're going to get snow, okay? But the point is, you want to be ready for the snow. You want to be ready for the water. You don't want to have your life destroyed by the inevitable. Now, taxes are the inevitable. I have a kind of a different way to handle taxes. I've always used it when I made the most amount of money. This is what I want you to realize. When you write a big check to the IRS, that's a great sign. It's a great sign. It just means you're making way more money because it's going to be in ratio to that. But it's okay to say, really? You're not a billionaire. You're just a guy, selling sandwiches I have to pay $75,000 to the government for selling sandwiches this year or whatever the number is. And the answer is yeah. So people get mad at Trump and anybody who's on the public screen there who says, no, I don't want to pay a lot of taxes. Not that they want to break the law, but they want to figure everything out in the world to keep that 75 grand. That isn't illegal. This is a beautiful thing about how our country works. Here, let me explain in an easier way. It doesn't make you a criminal. It's the same energy. When you're on the highway and it says 65 mile an hour speed limit. What does the word limit mean? Limit in English means the end. Do not go beyond this limit. But how come when there's a state trooper on the side of the road, 1,000 cars could go by him at 70 miles an hour? Why is he not shooting his gun and screaming at everyone to pull over? Because that's how America works. It is always ready for interpretation, and people don't like that. They love it on the highway. They hate it when someone gets away with some tax, change in their pocket. Again, you should never rob or be negligent or be a thief or be a criminal. You're going to go to prison. But it is a reality that they don't like to admit because, again, the speed limit thing happens with hundreds of millions of people every day. The police represent the government. How come they're not stopping if we go beyond the limit? Because what do they do the rest of their day? They're going to do nothing but try to stop people at 66 miles an hour. Did you know in Australia, if it's 45 and you're going 47, you get a ticket. They also have independent contractors who buy kind of machines that detect speed. And you can start a small business by sitting on an isolated road in the outback and ticketing people once the machine agrees they're over the speed limit. I would prefer a world like that. It's very clear. 65, don't go over it. Okay. But in America, there are loopholes. There are these weird, capitalistic, democratic, all these big names, little loopholes. So I'm not into loopholes, and I'm not trying to tell you to take them, but this is the reality of our life. If they decide you are bad, they will come after you with all of the government's resources, and they will attack you. They will do things to you that you didn't even think that aren't even legal. They will gas you out of your own house. They will vandalize your car. They will do things you can't even believe are being done to you by your own government. But that's the nature of the violence inside of the energy that we call America. Some people take a gun and shoot 20 people and do evil stuff. If the government can't do that, they can do that. Only time they can do that is when they use the media to make us agree, yes, go shoot those 20 people. That's how they do it. So taxes are the same way. I would recommend you do what I did. Although I'm not a financial guru, I am not rich. Do not maybe even take this advice. But when I owed, one year I owed $30,000 or $40,000 in taxes. So I was like, oh my, when 3 years before that, 5 years before that, you're living in your car and you it's so hard to go, oh, okay, I'll just give you $40,000. So what I would do is I would make payments on that. I would keep the 40 grand and then be charged $350 for like 7 years a month. You get it? Now, I'm not saying you have to do this. This helped me not get overwhelmed because I was so broke. I knew I could be broke again. What do you mean? How could I owe you? And you know what I'm saying? So I would take this chunk of money. I did this, I think, twice. And at $40,000, that's a lot of money. It's more than I made in a whole year, my first 2 years teaching. I'm like, ugh. So then instead of going here, I go, okay, I got 40 grand. It gets smaller because every month I'm paying $350. But with 40 grand, I could start another idea. I could go, I'm gonna do middle school dances at my school. I need a DJ, I need some equipment, I need some chaperones. How much? That's $5 grand. Out of that 40, I'm gonna take this 5 and I'm gonna try to make 20 with the 40. You see, it's getting smaller every month, but at least it didn't. Now I got to do an idea with the dances and I don't have the $5 grand. I want to expand my business. I'll use that. Using the IRS as a bank, in a sense, is better than using a bank because banks won't let you borrow. I can't go to a bank and be like, I want to start middle school dances. Can you give me 40 grand with no collateral? They're gonna be like, oh yes, sir. Yes, we'd be happy to give you 40 grand. So you use the IRS as a bank. It's not illegal. It's awesome. You call them up, you say you want to make payments. They will calculate payments. They're actually very helpful, cooperative people. People get all bent out of shape about the IRS. Every experience I ever had, even when they audited me, was pleasant, intelligent. They don't want to harm you. They're just regular people. They have a job. So don't. This is a beautiful thing that our free country allows us to do. Now, someone who doesn't play in the game of business, you could have I don't know, what's so good, a secretary at town hall. Okay, right? She's making 42 grand a year. She pays her taxes. She only gets 30 when she goes home. And she finds out you took 40, what? And I'm like, I don't want to hurt you. She gets mad at you. I'm not saying that secretaries are vicious people. I'm just making an example. Who do you think you are? I have to pay my taxes. How come you don't have to pay your taxes? And it's the only benefit between us two. She gets guaranteed money for guaranteed work. I get no guaranteed money for no idea if I'm even going to have work. Like nature. The shark swims around looking for fish. She cannot survive that. She's a shark that somebody offers fish to 3 times a day. What animal does that exist? Oh, excuse me. Let me give you a fish. No. I have to swim and swim and swim and hope I find a fish. That's why I receive a little bit of alleviated tax rules. Still got to pay my taxes. In fact, I'm going to pay more than her or him. And this weird thing the government uses to divide us and say, you're red and blue and conservative. I didn't know any of that. I was like, I don't feel virtuous by doing this. I just want to not go under. 3 years ago, I had nothing. Now I've got 40 grand and you tell me here you go, government. And I'm sure I didn't do all the write-offs or know what I was doing or, I'm not that intelligent. Our tax code is designed to confuse incredibly ingenious people who figured out how to make a living selling acorns. But again, you shouldn't fear this. I think I still am today. Holy cow, I just realized I have to call them. My balance is going down and I have to make sure that I'm done paying off one of my $40,000 moments. So taxes are, there's something about people, Trump has been real obvious, this public, and I don't even believe Trump and Obama and Harris and Biden. I don't live in that world. Those people are not my kind of people. But they go, he didn't pay his taxes. Yes, that's the goal. The goal is to pay the smallest amount of tax legally so that you can keep all of your money. It doesn't mean the ambulance service is going to stop. It doesn't even, once you realize we print money, it's no longer the cop is getting paid by my taxes. The cop is getting paid because we print money. The days of exchange gold, that's all over. We are a very broken economy, okay? So it isn't like I'm the evil guy who instead of paying 40 grand, I pay $350 a month, and now there's some cop who makes 70 grand who can't be hired because I didn't pay the tax. That is not the way it works anymore. That is over. When we had 100 million people, 160 million people, that was probably the way it worked. But we are not doing that anymore. I am not responsible for the reasons that happened, and nor will I be somehow whipped at the whipping post for paying $350 a month on a $40,000 bill. And it's not like economically intelligent. I pay more. There's interest. I'm paying more. I don't know the number, but I'm paying more than 40 grand. So I have to pay interest. Who's making money on my interest? The US government, or us, the taxpayers. No one wants to talk about that. Instead of me paying my 40 grand tax bill, I'm probably paying 50 grand over 5 years. Can I write that off? No. Oh, okay. Does it go to the taxpayers? Yeah. Just slowly. Just slowly. Now, again, my interactions with the IRS have been very pleasant. Because I'm honest and naive and I'm pretty dumb when it comes to that stuff. So they'll help you. Don't be afraid of taxes. I tell everyone this. When you first start your company, I don't care if it's lawn mowing, hair cutting, OnlyFans, whatever it is, you just go to a bank and first of all, you make business cards the old fashioned way. Joe's lawn mowing. Then you go to the bank and you open up a checking account called Joe's Lawn Mowing. It's actually Greg, DBA, doing business as Joe's Lawn Mowing. I will get a debit card, I will get a checkbook, and I will have electronically a statement electronically that I can see. All of my money will go into this account, Joe's Lawn Mowing, that I make from mowing the lawn. So I put everything in there and it electronically keeps track. And then when I need to buy some 2-cycle oil, nice job, Greg, with the whole motor thing, I buy it with that money. This is how you start. I put $500 in because I did a few lawns, and now I'm going to spend $28. And it's all there, very clear. Okay? This is how you get started on any business. Do not even call the government. Don't go get your certificates. Just see if you can do this by having this little game. Once you start to see it's very regular, you're into it, you like it, it's going to happen. Now you move into declaring, and I'll talk about this in another video, declaring your business very legally. It's legal because you're doing a DBA. You're telling people, I'm doing business this way. But if you only make $500, $1,000 a year or something like that, you can stay under the radar because it's not a legitimate money-making business that the government's going to want to take from. But that's your goal. You want the government to come and take from your business. That means you're making money enough to live. Okay? So don't be afraid of taxes. And I tell you this because it's all traceable. Now you have your debit card, you have a statement, it's on your phone, and you can see money in, money out. It's all recorded digitally by another organization, not yourself. And if some IRS guy goes, you know what, that lawn mowing guy, I'm very suspicious. Let me see your information. You go, oh, of course, sir. Here it is. He goes, oh, he's got $382 in his account. See ya. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid of taxes. They're not the demon. They are part of the deal. I kind of, as I get older, I'm more interested in being an employee, a W-2, most of the time, because I don't have the energy I used to have. But it's fun when you have it when you're young and you can just start making stuff happen. Taxes. They're guaranteed. See ya.